those were amazing for your kids. And I remember from your video too, when you talked about leaving teaching, that part of that was that, you know, you had a lot of fun with the kids. The kids said favorite teacher. The kids were really involved in the things that you were doing in your classroom. And then the next year when you would, you know, say hi to them and chat with them, that often they didn't really quite remember what you had done in the classroom the year before. Like, that's just another piece of information for you, right? About how that environment supports their learning, and how do you define learning, right? Like all those little questions, and being willing to, you know what, I'm just going to think this through and see if it makes sense for me.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's awesome.
Yeah. And then that moment, that glaze that I would get with them, and you would see it after the fact, and you actually would see it before too. So in the classroom, you know, you have a pace that you have to follow. Yeah. And so, you know, you teach a lesson, you give a quiz, and, you know, an assessment is basically just supposed to let you know, did the teacher do a good enough job in presenting this information so the student can absorb it and learn it, right? That's the purpose of an assessment. But the way school is set up is we got to move forward. You know, we can't stay back in, you know, chapter 3, section 2. We have to move on to chapter 4, you know. And so if a student, you know, gets a D or a C or an F, and, you know, it's, what do? And, you know, and I was always pushing back, and I was like, I want to stay with that student where they are to keep, you know, staying with that content. Let's get them to understand that. Let's get some true learning here. And I got in trouble a lot as a teacher because I was always trying to, you know, push the envelope a lot. And you know, they say, no, we got to move on. You can't be so far behind. And, you know, what about the students who got it that first day, you know, and now we're 3-4 days in it talking about the same thing. How are they, you know, enjoying this learning environment? Is this beneficial for them? So it was so many different things that I was, you know, combating. And I realized that, yeah, this whole room, this box that we're in, and you have 25, 30 kids in this room, and you're supposed to be teaching them on the same pace. It's not a very realistic approach. It's very unnatural. And the crazy part about it, one of your questions was, what was your aha moment? The aha moment is that society has been taught that is the natural way of learning, in a school with a authoritative person in the front, you know, telling you what to do, telling you what page to go to, and things like that. That is what's assumed as the natural way, you know, and it's so against it's the opposite. It's incredibly unnatural, you know. So that's all of this is kind of, you know, brought me to this place where I am today.
Well, and I wanna pull out that just when you were speaking about that, like you were saying, if you know, we do this assessment and this student's not getting it yet, that's you took that on as a teacher's responsibility. Whereas so often we do hear that as well, you know, as a teacher, I shared this thing, I taught this thing. Yeah. It's the student's fault they didn't pick it up. Yeah. Right? Like, I just love that different lens that you were bringing to it. It's just another great example of that. And it goes exactly to your aha moment, that this environment and the pace of it, that the pace is very important. The pace is critical, like moving, seeing it through their eyes, meeting them where they are, and moving at the pace that works for them is what helps learning shine, right? And just in this box of 30 kids, it's just not conducive to creating that for each child, right? Yeah, and then you've got the pace that the curriculum dictates that you move at, because you've only got so many days to get through that learning, right? So that is all working against you in the classroom, right? As you're trying to come up with all these projects that will engage them, that will bring them into the moment, that are relevant to their lives. Like all those pieces shone in the way you were describing what you were trying to do in the classroom. So I much appreciate that.
Hey guys, we are going to be posting videos all the time. Subscribe for more. Hope you like them.